All right, Cowboys Nation, it's time. The 2025 NFL Draft is officially in the books, and now it's time to dive into everything the Dallas Cowboys managed to do over the three-day event. Whether you loved every pick, hated it all, or are somewhere in the middle, we're going to break it all down, pick by pick, with an honest, energetic look at the decisions the front office made. From high-profile prospects to late-round sleepers, this draft class could shape the Cowboys' future for years to come. There's plenty to be excited about, a few things to question, and even more to keep an eye on as we head toward training camp. No sugarcoating here, just a real breakdown of what the Cowboys got right, where they might have missed, and how this class fits into the bigger picture. 1. Tyler Booker, OG Alabama, pick 12. Landing Tyler Booker at 12 is exactly the kind of move that gets this team back to where it needs to be. He's a big, nasty mauler who instantly injects toughness into the offensive line. Booker isn't just a safe pick, he's a tone setter, someone who could anchor the right guard spot for the next decade. In a year where Dallas desperately needed to reset the trenches, Booker was the ideal choice. Beyond the physical traits, it's the attitude that makes me fired up about Booker. He's mean, he's physical, and he finishes blocks like it's personal. This is the guy you want protecting your quarterback and opening up holes in the run game when it matters most in December and January. If Dallas is serious about getting back to smashmouth football, Booker is step 1. 2. Jaydon Blue, RB Texas, pick 149. Jaydon Blue might just be the most electrifying back the Dallas Cowboys have drafted in quite some time. His burst, lateral agility, and open field vision are the type of traits that make defenders miss and fans jump out of their seats. Blue brings juice to the offense, the kind of home run threat that can flip the field in a heartbeat. Whether it's on outside zone runs, swing passes, or screen plays, he offers the kind of explosive element this offense has been sorely lacking. But don't get it twisted. Blue isn't just a gadget guy or third down back. He's got enough meat on his frame to take on an everyday role and run effectively between the tackles. He's tough, determined, and doesn't shy away from contact, showing he can grind out tough yards when needed. That combo of speed and strength makes him a potential all-purpose back. Someone who can complement or even take over a lead role in the backfield. If developed properly, Blue could be the Cowboys' most dynamic dual-threat back since peak Tony Pollard. 3. Phil Mafah, RB Clemson, pick 239. Let's talk about a classic downhill bruiser, Phil Mafah. While he doesn't pop off the screen with elite athletic traits like Blue, make no mistake, Mafah brings a steady, physical style that wears down defenses. He's a load to bring down once he builds momentum, and he brings a ton of short yardage value. His vision and patience behind the line are solid, and you can see the maturity in how he sets up his blocks. He's a grown man with the ball in his hands, exactly the kind of guy you trust to get the tough yards. Now, while he's not going to run circles around defenders like some speed backs, Mafah does have some underrated breakaway speed. He's had flashes of chunk plays at Clemson that show he can hit the second level and pull away when the seam is there. In this rotation, he'd be the thunder to someone else's lightning, and that's valuable in a backfield looking to recapture its physical identity. Pound for pound, this is a value pick that could pay off sooner than expected. 4. Donovan Ezeruaku, edge, Boston College, pick 76. Donovan Ezeruaku brings a lot of intriguing traits off the edge. He's explosive off the snap, has strong hands, and plays with an engine that doesn't quit. While he may not be ready to start day one, the upside is definitely there if Dallas is patient and lets him develop behind guys like Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. This pick shows the Cowboys aren't ignoring the future on defense either. Ezeruaku could be a rotational rusher early on, especially in obvious passing situations, and eventually grow into a much bigger role. There's a lot to like about his energy and athleticism, and you can never have enough guys who can get after the quarterback. 5. Shamar James, LB Florida, pick 174. At 174, Shamar James is fantastic value for Dallas. He's a fast, instinctive linebacker who has the speed to track running backs and the toughness to hold up between the tackles. His game screams modern-day NFL linebacker, and if he can polish up some technique issues, he could absolutely thrive in Matt Eberflus's defensive system. James fits the mold of what Dallas needs at linebacker. More speed, more playmaking ability, and a little more nasty. While he'll probably start as a special teamer and rotational guy, the tools are there for him to earn a major role quickly. Another solid investment in athleticism and upside. 6. Ajani Cornelius, OL, Oregon, pick 204. Ajani Cornelius might not be a flashy pick, but he's a smart one. He's a versatile offensive lineman who has the experience and athletic ability to play multiple spots along the offensive line. In a league where injuries are a constant, having a guy like Cornelius who can step in anywhere is critical. He's also a true grinder, the kind of player who just gets the job done without much hype. If Cornelius can clean up a few technical aspects of his game, he could turn into one of the better swing linemen in the NFL. At this point in the draft, adding dependable depth up front is a huge win. 7. Jay Toya, DT UCLA, pick 211. Jay Toya adds some much-needed beef to the Cowboys' defensive interior. He's a big body who can eat up space and free up the linebackers behind him. Dallas has struggled at times to hold up against the run, and Toya gives them another option to rotate into the mix. While he may never be a full-time starter, Toya has value as a rotational nose tackle. On obvious rundowns, he can plug gaps and keep the defense from getting pushed around. It's a classic do-your-job pick, and an important one if Dallas wants to get tougher in the trenches. 8. Siobhan Revel Jr., CB, East Carolina, pick 217. Siobhan Revel Jr. is a gamble worth taking late in the draft. He's got good size, ball skills, and the swagger you want in a young corner. While he's still raw in certain areas, the upside is clear, and the Cowboys' secondary needs more competition and depth. Revel will probably have to make his mark early on special teams, but he has the traits to eventually develop into a quality backup, or even push for playing time down the line. This pick fits the theme of adding athleticism and grit late in the draft. 9. Tommy Akingbisot, DT Maryland, pick 247. With Tommy Akingbisot, the Cowboys continue beefing up the defensive front. He's a powerful, heavy-handed lineman who can help in obvious run situations. Adding more size to the D-line rotation was critical for Dallas, and Akingbisot fits that bill perfectly. This late in the draft, you're swinging for traits, and Akingbisot definitely brings some to the table. If the coaching staff can refine his technique and conditioning, he could be a sneaky contributor. Another smart move in a draft that emphasized getting bigger and tougher. Overall, this draft shows how they could really build a stronger, tougher football team if they wanted to. Booker, Blue, and Maffa give this class the star power I'm genuinely excited about, and a few of these defenders could end up being huge steals. And that's a wrap on the 2025 Dallas Cowboys draft review. When you look at this class, you see a clear focus, building toughness, adding explosive playmakers, and laying down a foundation for the future. Tyler Booker, Jaden Blue, and Phil Maffa headline a group that could end up being the backbone of the next great Cowboys team if everything clicks. It wasn't the flashiest draft, but it didn't have to be. Dallas stayed true to their board, plugged real holes, and set themselves up to be a much more physical, balanced football team. Now the real work begins, developing these players and seeing who rises to the top. If you're a Cowboys fan, there's real reason for optimism coming out of this draft. Can they finally turn it into that long-awaited 6th Lombardi? We'll find out soon enough.